So this show, we got a big guest coming on, a good friend of ours. If you are on our Facebook group page, I'll even give you the address, because I know you're going to run to your computers right now, right? And hop on the group page. So it's www.facebook.com/groups/The Skeleton Crew Show. Hop on there. That's where all the drama is. And, I mean, the fun. And you can go there, talk to everybody who listens to the show, extend your listening experience to just not listening at work or in your car or whatever you're doing right now, but you could actually live the show. Because it's that amazing that you'd want to do that, right? So you could do that at the group page. And what was my point? I forgot my point. Anyway, oh yes, right. Alex Aronson. He's going to stop by on the show. He's always on the group page. He's actually a filmmaker himself. He's just starting out. He did a couple Troma pictures, so he's going to hop on, tell us what it's like to get into the movie business at a young age. He's like 22 or something like that. So he's going to tell us how to get in, what it's like making movies, and now he's working on his own feature-length movie called The Sting. So we're going to have a really good time getting into that. Definitely. He's hopping on in a little bit. After that, we're going to review the movie The Stuff from 1985. You know, everybody loves 80s horror, but nobody really talks about The Stuff. There might be a reason why, but there might not be. We'll see. We'll see how that little review goes. And, so we got, a couple things on the show for you. Like I said, we'll be dropping them more frequently this month, July. This is July 1st. So, look out. You thought Jaws was a problem in the summer. Wait till you hear The Skeleton Crew. That was so corny. We'll be right back.
Nothing is more important than the simple act of people getting together.
Could I have one more go, Watson, please? Sorry.
What?
Could I have just one more take of that?
Why? I just did it right.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not used to having more than one person in there. One more word out of you and you go. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
I take directions from one person under protest. But from two, I don't sit still. But who the hell are you, anyway?
No, I'm the engineer.
Well, why the hell are you asking me for another one?
Well, I thought there was a slight bonk, and I would just like to be safe.
Jesus. What is a gonk? Do you mind telling me what that is?
A bang from outside.
A bang from outside.
Calming himself down.
Could I see Mrs. Rogers for a minute, please?
Alex Aronson, I pronounced that correctly. He is the creator of this new movie coming out, Sting, and he's also a friend of ours. He's on our Facebook group page all the time. Alex, welcome to the dungeon.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, you guys.
Yeah, man, it's about time we got you on here, dude.
I know. I've been listening to the show since the get-go, since the beginning, so I'm excited to finally be able to join on and chat with you guys, be in the dungeon.
I love being able to put voices with our friends. So now I can, when I read your comments, I know what you sound like. I like that.
And what do you do with that information?
Nothing. I just keep it. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Put it in your pocket.
Before, I do want to get into the transition of how you go from just being, I forgot the letters, DP or something, whatever you said on your...
Yeah.
DP? That's a whole other thing, Alex.
It's a whole other book, yeah.
Okay, what is it? Sorry, what was it?
PA, production.
PA, system. Okay. So I want to know how you go from that to the level you're at now with this new movie Sting. But before that, just because before you talk about the movie you're gonna do, I'd like to know what led to it. So what are your favorite top 5 favorite horror movies? Like, what are you into really?
Oh shit!
Sorry, you're on the spot. Come on, right? You're on the spot.
All right, so definitely Halloween and Screamer on that in capacity, no doubt about it.
Right.
Also, I would have to say I really dig Wolf Creek, actually a lot.
Part 2, you mean, right? Part 2 is way better.
No, don't get me started on Part 2 right now.
Thank you. See? A sane person. Thank you, Alex. Jesus Christ.
The vibe of 1 is like kick-ass, and the vibe of 2, it's just a completely different vibe. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, Part 2, but it's just a different vibe than Part 1. And they're not the same type of deal. But yeah, so Wolf Creek.
Okay, do you like Texas Chainsaw 2?
I mean, it's all right. I can tolerate it. I'm not, but Texas Chainsaw, the original, is definitely in my top 5. And probably Amityville would round that out.
The new one or the
original?
Oh, yes.
The new one's way better.
No, are you so insane? Stop it.
What?
Which, for the record, I have to say, and I've put this on the page a bunch of times, but I do think the crew needs to do something Amityville before you end.
Dude, I knew you were going to fucking
commentary or some shit of any of the movies.
Hello?
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I always wanted to, but I just heard the sequels suck.
I just watched every single Amityville sequel.
You did? What was it like?
It was horrible.
Was it?
Yeah?
Past the third one, it's nothing but furniture. It's like a haunted mirror, a haunted lamp.
Yeah, that they buy at garage sales and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, and that's basically what there's a clock, there's a mirror, there's a lamp.
Dollhouse.
There's a dollhouse. Then there's a found footage one that is supposed to be in the Amityville house, but looks nothing like the Amityville house, and it's so boring.
Doesn't even have the fucking windows.
No.
Did you do that for a retrospective, Jamie, or just on your own time?
I just did that because I'm psycho.
For the torture of yeah.
Hey, Jamie, I did it with Hellraiser, so... Yeah.
I did it too. And that's the thing is I have decided, last year was like the year of retrospectives between all my shows. I watched a ton of franchises. So I decided, which franchises did I not watch? I will watch those now. So since then, I have done Hellraiser and Amityville and Wishmaster and...
Ooh, what was Wishmaster like?
Well, I really like the first Wishmaster. Beyond that, they get kind of crazy. Like they get very loose with the rules as far as what actually counts as a wish. The third and fourth ones are just abysmal. I mean, they're just terrible. But first one's really good.
We've been getting Phantasm a lot too.
Oh, I did Phantasm. I just did that for a show.
What's that like?
I love Phantasm. I like all of them.
Really?
So, yeah. I mean, he's got a 4-barrel shotgun.
Is that guy in all of them, the tall guy?
Yes, he is. The tall man is in all of them, and Reggie Bannister is in all of them, and A. Michael Baldwin, who plays the kid, is in 1, 3, and 4, but they replaced him for the second one. But I just did a whole show on that. So.
He was too busy.
No, it was funny. Coscarelli wanted him, and the studio presented it to him like this. They're like, they wanted to replace everyone. And he's like, no, I want to keep everyone. And they said, well, you have to replace one. And
Why?
So he replaced him. Because they were being dicks. I mean, they completely took that whole movie out of his hands. And that's, there's a whole story about that. But listen to the show.
I'm far too busy. So,
I've actually never seen Hellraiser or Phantasm, any of them.
Dude, me either. I saw Phantasm.
I would love to see what you think about Phantasm, and you definitely have to watch Hellraiser because that's
it's on the list. I gotta check it out.
I want to do fucking Final Destination, motherfucker.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Actually,
because Sly brought it back.
Four sucks.
Yo.
See, actually, you know what? I actually haven't seen 4 because I heard how bad it was, but I saw. Dude, I actually even like 3. I mean, 1 is what it is. It's a fun movie. 2, I thought was fucking great. 3, a little step down, but still very enjoyable.
I love 3.
I do. So do I. Yeah, I actually do like it with the whole picture thing and whatever.
You guys remember what happens in these?
Yeah, but
yeah.
But 5 is really where it's at, dude. 5 is the gem of
5 really pulls it together. Yes.
Yes, dude. It
brought it back. Yes.
Yeah.
What is 5? The car race?
No, that's 4.
That's 4.
4 is so shitty. Oh my god, I was angry when I saw that movie.
What's 5?
Collapse.
5 is the bridge.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
It's amazing, dude.
And I liked that one too. Yeah, 4 is the only one I really just don't like.
If they didn't have 4 in there, then 1, 2, 3, and 5 would be like a pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
franchise.
like a perfect franchise. But
Yeah.
that's why they did it. They're not allowed to have a perfect franchise, so they had to do something to fuck it up.
Right.
That's why they made Psycho 4.
Pretty much.
Alex, what are your favorite franchises? Because that's easier to say than a specific movie.
Still gonna go with Halloween.
Ooh, Jamie don't like that answer.
1, original, and 2 are great. I've actually never seen Season of the Witch.
What?
I know. I fucking know.
Dude.
Tom Atkins.
But out of the Michael Myers part of Halloween, 1, 2, 4 is on the fence. 5, and not so much. 6, I don't even fucking remember 6, to be honest. But I do want to check out
himself. I love him again because he's got it all right. He's got it all correct.
I do want to check out the producer's cut. I've never checked. Seen that.
Didn't we just warn you on the last show?
You did, but I'm going to forbid that.
He doesn't listen.
He won't watch Halloween 3, but he'll watch the fucking producer's cut.
They
6.
never listen.
And actually, no, I will watch Halloween, but I just haven't 3, but I just haven't done it yet.
Stop it!
And H2O, I actually do like H2O. And that's in the whole Scream era, and I love 90s horror, so.
Fuck yeah.
And then Resurrection can go fuck itself.
Oh, yes, it can. Do you ever see that video of me destroying that one?
No, I don't think I have.
This is Halloween, Part 8, The Resurrection. Well, guess what? I'm officially ending the franchise at H2O. So this movie will no longer find its way to my DVD player. Of course, I would never buy this movie to begin with, so the only copy I have on a blank DVD. So I'm going to end the franchise at H2O right now and show you that my loyalty to this movement is real. Goodbye, Halloween Part 8. I will never see you again.
Literally, he's breaking the movie.
I'm stabbing it with scissors.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was like my introduction to Alex. I was like, who's this crazy asshole?
Let's do a show together.
Yeah, right? He's perfect.
And we see how that turned out.
Not so good.
I love how you said you love 90s horror, though, man, because, I mean, I don't know, I think for people our age, I mean, it's just, even though it's shitty, just like 80s movies, like, even though they're shitty, they're fucking close to your heart, and you just love them.
Yeah, to a lot of people, that's like, when I say that, they're like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? That's a joke. But no, like, Scream is like one of my solid, definite inspirations as a filmmaker, but also as a horror fan. Scream is at the top. And then, all those films, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and, all those flicks are pretty entertaining, and that came out of the end of that era, for sure.
I really like Urban Legend.
Yeah,
it's
pretty entertaining.
I just watched that again recently. Although, you know what I did watch recently was Valentine. And
oh, Jesus.
I saw that in the theater and I didn't like it. And then I thought, I'm going to give this another shot. I still didn't like it. But,
okay.
What can you do?
Thank you for that arc. Now, I have a funny story about Valentine. This is like, I mean, I hope it's not one of those things where you had to be there. But, so we rent a shore house for the weekend. And it's me, my 2 cousins.
Snooki.
Yeah, I was with Snooki and JWoww. The Situation and I were watching the movie Valentine. No, just kidding. No, so I never wanted to say those names on our show, but I don't know why I just did that. But
they call him the Calamity. That's
the debacle. We're all watching Valentine, and the beauty of this story is that it was a room full of 8 or 10 people, and that was enough, believe me. So we're watching it, and I don't know if you guys memorize this movie or not, but so there's a scene where you see like a foot, and the girl's putting the stockings on, and she slides it up her legs, and then you start seeing her legs, this and that. So my cousin is looking at it, and we're all just drunk or whatever. He's like, wow, look at her legs, man. And then as the camera keeps going up, it's a guy dressed in a drag. And it was like the greatest. Like, the next 5 minutes were heaven.
the look on his face though when it's?
I don't even. I was probably rolling on the floor, dying that somebody slipped up with something like that. I don't even know.
Dude, same thing happened when Hanson Umbop came on the scene, dude. My buddy, like,
that is a hot chick.
He goes, "Yo, that chick's hot." I'm like, "Dude, I think it's a dude."
Jay Moore has a great bit about Hanson, where he's talking to him. He's like, "I don't care what anybody says. That Hanson kid is still one of the hottest chicks in the business."
Absolutely. So yeah, it's funny you say that, man, because '90s isn't actually known for good horror. I mean, it's everybody says that's the awkward shit, you know, like horror didn't know what to. It was a bad name at the time, and it became thriller and all that type of shit. So that's cool that you appreciate it. And I know what you mean when you say that it's close to your heart, and it's probably mostly nostalgia, even though quality did come out of it.
Yeah.
Because we grew up on that, dude. Like I said in our '90s show, but when we did, I know you did last summer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about how I had a VHS tape, and the two movies on it were The Faculty and Disturbing Behavior.
Yeah.
I love Disturbing Behavior.
Oh, me too, dude. It's so bad but awesome.
Right, and like we grew up with it in a way. Like we're not old enough to we're not like Dave Z's like 40 years old.
Yeah, Dave, tell the folks something about yourself.
Well, there's not a whole lot to tell. I've been a big-time horror movie viewer since the 80s. I'm 40 years old. I've been watching a lot of horror movies since the 80s, since I was old enough to rent them. I live in Buffalo, New York right now. I work at the casino out here. There's not a whole lot to tell. I'm a pretty simple guy.
Good.
So,
Hey.
Oh, you're almost... Oh, okay. Well, I guess you grew up with the 80s, but me and Dan didn't, so... So we appreciate it, and we understand from that kid type of point of view, but the 90s is our nostalgia.
Exactly, yeah.
Also, dude, 90s too, if you look at all the movies that, 2000 on, I mean, those movies are what they are too, and I'm sure, to younger generations, they're special too. But at the same time, dude, it seems like the younger the audience now, the more they like Paranormal Activity, the more they like all the bullshit.
Yeah, in 10 years, I'm sure that there'll be a whole generation that's like, dude, I love early millennium horror, like soft Paranormal Activity and shit like that.
The Ring.
That's just how it'll probably be and continue to be. And
see, I don't like the direction horror went in the 2000s or whatever with The Ring and all that shit. I mean, it was okay, but it was
horror remakes and all of that and the growth.
Yeah.
It's all about remake. You know what the first remakes really, like, not really, but one of the other ones I had on a tape and constantly watched, fucking House on Haunted Hill. Can you believe I actually thought that was good or something? Like I don't know if I thought it was good, but I watched that regularly. Like in those 90s when I was into horror in a weird way, I watched that like 3 times a year maybe or something, along with those other ones I mentioned. Isn't it? Like, it's crazy to think of that now. Like, what the... all these 80s horror, and I wasn't even watching Jason or Michael or any of that shit at the time.
Right.
It's just so weird to think about that.
Right, yeah, like for me, the Scream was my first kind of door to slashers, and then from that's how I discovered Jason and Freddy.
Right.
It's just different for each generation, I think, yeah.
Yeah, obviously for me it was Scream too, but I think obviously because all those movies were successful because of Scream and shit like that, everything, I mean, you got the 80s shit that we all love, don't get me wrong, but 90s took a whole different vibe to it. It was almost like, all right, we're gonna stop fucking around and get a little bit more serious here, and that's what I'm saying. I like that turn, and it was great nostalgia wise and stuff like that. But dude, guarantee, like even now, Scream's known as a classic, right? 20 years from now, it's gonna be like Halloween, dude.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah,
I really do.
And with the late 90s horror, just like from a filmmaking perspective, I think it made. From the end of the 80s, where everything was so quickly put together and it was slasher after slasher, I think with the late 90s with Scream and everything after that, the films actually were nicely shot and nicely lit again and
written better a little bit.
Right, yeah. So
it's more thought out. It's like it's more intelligent, than all those 80s slashers, really. Mostly.
Can I say? I want to say this too about those kind of movies, dude. I feel more connected with those people with 80s movies. Like I was watching Sleepaway Camp. it's so 80s that there's
so good.
It's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's different. Do you know what I mean? Like it seems like when I watch, I know what you did last summer or whatever, and I see Sarah Michelle Gellar. I grew up watching Buffy too, like, and so I just feel this like timely connection with it, where it seems relevant to me at least. Do you know what I mean? So everything feels just more real as opposed to the 80s shit where I see those people now and they all got wrinkles on their face or whatever, and it's like there's something disconnecting about it, and just the quality of the movies too, which doesn't make it bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just different.
That's weird. I feel more of a connection, honestly, like because it's nostalgic. Even though I didn't grow up, it's weird how we have nostalgia for things we never had a connection to. Like it just doesn't make any sense because it doesn't. The definition, by definition, I don't think that's nostalgic. But you know, whatever. But you feel like you grew up at least at that time, and it kind of brings you there in a way. At least you get in that headspace. But yeah, I know what you mean, dude. Like. You feel like you're part of the stuff in the 90s, and in the 80s, you feel like you're looking back at something that was great.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, the 70s too, but I like 80s horror a little bit better than 70s. But yeah, dude, it's just, I don't know. Like we said, different strokes for different folks here.
So, Alex, now you have a lot going on. Like I said, you got this new movie Sting going on. But before we even get to that, so you're in the business. You worked on the Trauma movie, the Nuke Um High?
Return to Nuke Um High, Volume 1 and Volume 2. I was a production assistant on that, and we filmed it all in one summer in Buffalo, New York. And then it got split into 2 movies later on. I was a production assistant on that, and I also had a couple lines as the jock. They got cut out in Part 1, so fingers crossed for Part 2. But we'll see if they keep in that.
Now, dude, what's it like working on a trauma film?
Dude, it's what you would think. The craziness that you would think it is exactly
Raunchy?
what it is. Raunchy, it was just balls to the wall crazy. Lloyd Kaufman is the nicest guy ever, even though I was like at the bottom of the totem pole. I was just a production assistant. I wasn't anything, but he came up to me one day and, he shook my hand, introduced himself, talked to me. We were talking about a shot that I was in that later got cut, but...
Thanks, Lloyd.
Bastard. Yeah, he was really cool, and it's a lot of fun and really high energy to work on a trauma movie, especially when you're doing lunchroom scenes and daylight scenes at like 2 a.m. with just big lights beaming on you for 8 hours, and you're exhausted, and it's still a really fun, upbeat set to be on.
Now, how old are you, Alex?
I'm 22.
Now, so this has this always been something you wanted to do your whole life?
Yeah, filmmaking's been something I've always wanted to get into since I could remember. It's the only thing. I'm a huge horror movie buff, and so I knew automatically that this is what I wanted to do, and horror movies, I love them so much, so this seemed like the gateway to filmmaking was the horror genre to start working on those kinds of films. I did Nuke Um High when I was 19.
Wow. How do you do this? So, like, is this like a good paying job? Like, the way you said it, you sounded like it's, just a real low, like, you get paid, right? Like,
with Nuke Um High, that was really low budget. That was, but yeah, that was good for the summer. That was a good summer gig, I guess.
Like, do you make a living off of what you do actively in the business?
On and off. I'm going to school right now. I go to Syracuse University, or try to. I took a semester off here and there, so to work on other films and stuff, because opportunities pop up. So I usually take those, and then I take a semester off, and I'm working on those projects, and so trying to finish up college here, and then hopefully move on to this full time to make a living.
Dude, that's great, man. Hey, Tarantino always said the best film school is being on sets.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I believe.
That's great,
so
man.
far, yeah, that's what I think. So
how'd you get your first job?
Nuke Um High was my first major movie, I think, and I got that from just I followed them, and I followed a bunch of other production companies here in like central New York area, and their call came up for crew and cast, and I entered that, and I had just finished a short film called What Comes From Within that I did, and that premiered around festivals, and we played that at all over. We played that in Texas, Atlanta, Chicago. We just played it in the International Short Film Festival in Hollywood last Halloween, and we won Best Horror Film there. So that short film did really well for me and was my platform to be able to get onto larger projects. I did other studio projects that weren't in the horror genre, but sticking with the horror genre, that's what I've been doing.
Cool. It seems like a pretty I mean, it's been 3 years since you did Return to Nuke Um High. I guess, what did you also finish part 2, I guess? Is that done?
Well, we filmed that was all one summer. We did that summer 2012.
Mm-hmm. What? So you just divided it just because of the length of the movie?
I guess so. I mean, yeah, we filmed it all summer, and then during the filming, I don't think there was ever talk of it being 2 separate films. And actually, the original script I heard was for a Toxie reboot.
Oh, shit.
And then they kind of switched it over and made it their Nuke Um High reboot, but I do think there is a Toxie reboot in the works.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for a while.
Do you have any, information since you're hanging out with these guys?
I didn't have any information on that, but the company that I worked with a company in Europe this past spring called the International Film Trade, and basically it was a company that sold... I went to the Berlin International Film Festival, and we were selling movies on an international market, and one of the movies they were shopping around was a Toxie reboot. Mm-hmm. They were also shopping around... we were trying to sell the new film from the Blair Witch director. It's a Bigfoot movie. I don't remember the name off the top of my head right.
Sanchez?
Yeah. His new Bigfoot movie. We were also trying to sell this John Cusack, Sam Jackson, Stephen
Cell
called Cell. Yeah. So yeah, we had a pretty cool, couple of pretty cool projects that we were selling there. And
what about the Toxic Twins?
I don't know anything. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. No.
No, they're not going to go ahead with that. Because when we interviewed Kaufman, I don't know if you remember that show. I just went around interviewing a bunch of people at a convention, and he said they did not do Toxic Twins because they could not find a script that does not suck. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. So.
Well then, yeah, I guess it's over with.
Well, hey, but before we go on, Alex, real quick, I just want to ask you, you mentioned overseas. Now, I know this is a little off topic, but can you please tell us your Shia LaBeouf story?
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I worked in Europe during the Berlin International Film Festival, and this is when Shia LaBeouf, he went around, I don't know if it was a big story here in the States, but in Europe it was big, where he went to the red carpet with a paper bag over his head.
Yes,
and it says, "I'm not famous anymore." Yeah, so...
It was all over.
Yeah.
The company that I was working for, the hotel I was working at, was located directly behind that red carpet. Mm-hmm. So we were working one night, and the guys that I worked with, it's a Beverly Hills-based company, but the guys I were working with knew one of the other guys that was working there, and he was the talent manager for the red carpets at the festival. And so he had to he had to basically manage the talent on the red carpet, make sure they got from point A to point B, stuff like that. So he went to the press conference. They did the press conference, and I guess he walked in, Shia LaBeouf did, said like 2 words or said something like how the press are like vultures, and then booked it out. And then, yeah, just something like that. And then so the talent manager guy came up to the offices where I was working in between the press conference and the red carpet, because there was about an hour in between. And so he comes up and he was like stressing out. The guys I was working for, they were in a meeting, so I was just out there with him. And he was pacing back and forth. He was stressing out. He was having a beer. He's like, "Man, I hope Shia just acts normal on this red carpet. I pray that he acts normal. I pray he doesn't pull any shit. And he was stressing out. He was sweating. So he had me go downstairs to check if the arrivals were happening yet at the red carpet. So I go downstairs, and sure enough, the cars are lining up, and all the photographers are there and everything. And so I'm trying to get... So I run back in the building, and I run back up, and I said, yeah, it's ramping up. You should probably get down there. Looks like they're starting. And he goes down to the red carpet after he was, worried and pacing the whole time, hoping that he would be normal. And so he goes in the elevator, and right before the elevator doors close, he just says one more thing to me. He's like, damn, I hope he's normal. And then the elevator doors close, and he goes down. And then I read later that night online, I open the homepage, and it's Shia LaBeouf with a bag over his head. So then, but the next day, they were at a bar, and it was one of the bars at the hotel, and we were there, and he had to be there with Shia, because Shia has to be, I don't know, babysat or something. I don't know.
He needs a handler.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a zoo animal.
Don't feed him.
We're at the bar, and we're drinking this, whatever, and then Shia walks in. Apparently, I mean, I don't want to say what he might have done, but from what it would have looked like, he had trouble catching his footing, and he took the girl, and he walked out of the bar, and then that was the last that any of us saw him. And then, you read in the paper the next day that he's in L.A. causing all this ruckus, so I guess he made it back all right, but it was just kind of funny to be in the middle of that.
Wow, I guess he has FU money, huh?
Yeah, I would say so.
Jesus Christ, man.
I know that's got nothing to do with anything, but man, I heard that story and I thought it was fucking hilarious. So, wow, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just crazy to be in the middle of it, and then you see it all on the news, and you see it everywhere, and you're like, hey, I was kind of in the middle of that, sort of. It was pretty funny, yeah.
I always thought he was a douchebag, but just hearing stories like that just totally confirms it,
It's not that, I don't know if he's a douchebag, he's just like off his fucking rocker,
He's like Joaquin Phoenix.
I was just about to say he's gone the Joaquin Phoenix route.
Legit. Yeah.
It's weird. They all do that, man. Well, not all of them, but I don't know. It's weird.
I guess there comes a point in your career when you gotta hit crazy. I don't know.
Really? Like, what's her name? Miley?
Yeah.
Smiley Miley?
Cyrus.
It's funny, kind of transitioning into what you're doing now, Alex. Now, you want to talk about influences and stuff like that. Now, you said Scream's your biggest influence pretty much, right? Or one of them, horror movie-wise, correct?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm trying to word this right. How do you apply that to your movie? Did you write this, by the way?
I did. All my films that I produce, I've written, directed, and edited.
That's fucking
some of them I've been in as well.
Yeah, but this movie, just so everyone knows, this movie is called Sting.
Yeah, my newest one, Sting.
Yeah.
It's going to be my first feature-length film that I create myself. So I wrote it, and it's horror thriller, and it's about, the film opens on these three girls robbing a convenience store on this drug-filled rampage. They take their money and their drugs, and they drive cross-country. And
what kind of drugs?
A little bit of everything. Which is funny because in the movie, in the very beginning of the movie, we start shooting.
Did you shart in the car?
I started over everything.
Credits.
We start shooting Friday, June 13th.
Nice!
Sweet.
And we're shooting in upstate New York in the Finger Lakes area, if anyone's familiar with that.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, do you need any extras? Or a leading man? I jump right to leading man.
Shit. It's an animated film.
Fuck.
No, be a fluffer.
Can I be a fluffer, dude?
So, yeah, they take their money and their drugs, and they go off on a cross-country road trip. And along the way, they get into a car accident, and they're aided by this mysterious man. And from then on, the girls go with this man, and he helps them. And then from there, it's a complete mindfuck of plot twists and who is really who, and wait, is this dude really a killer, or maybe it's the chicks that are a killer, or maybe it's a complete plot twist, and from there it just mumbles into a big ball of twists and action and suspense until the final moments of the film.
Oh, wait, I have to think when I watch this?
You're going to have to use a little bit of a brain, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Shit.
Well, he's in trouble. That's okay, baby. I will explain everything to you.
Thank you, baby. Yeah, are these chicks hot?
Yeah, we got
super hot. I saw the fucking page. Super hot.
Yeah, you can follow the production of the page on Facebook.com/StingMovie. And yeah, I have all the casting announcements, everything that I do for the movie there. We're going to be putting up a teaser poster soon, which I'll also premiere on Skeleton Crew page.
Yes.
And yeah, anything that happens with the film, Skeleton Crew page is the first to hear.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Yeah, so we've got all the casting. The fight coordination is done by retired pro WWE fighter Craig or Spazman Simmons.
Oh, is that the Red Rooster?
No.
I have to make a joke about everything.
Yeah, so he's doing all the fight coordination for me, which I'm really pumped about.
Oh, dude, you should have Sting do it.
If I could afford 1 second of Sting to walk on.
I get a look-alike.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you about writing it, and you said with all the plot twists and everything. Now, how hard is it to write a script, or did it just come? Like, how did the idea come about? Or were you just like, I got this, or did you just kind of write it as you went?
I based the movie around, well, I started concepting the idea last fall. After I went to LA for my short film at the festival in Hollywood, I figured there would be no better way, because I had been touring that short film for a year and like 3 months, and I'd been touring it everywhere, and we had been winning stuff, and so I figured there would be no better way to cap off that tour than with us winning Halloween weekend, winning the best horror film in Hollywood. I figured that's a good place to stop. So then from there, I figured, well, now I definitely want to make my first feature film from all the networking and connections and experience I've gotten in the past 2 years with my own films and other films. And so I started concepting the idea, and I came up with a twist. That's my thing. There's nothing more I love in a movie than a good twist.
Yeah.
I love that too.
That is my favorite thing, and I try and put that in every single one of my films. And so I came up with the twist and built the entire film around the twist so it would make sense. So you could go back with flashbacks and you could watch it again and you hear and you're like, holy shit, I didn't realize that. Now I realize why they said that.
I love that stuff.
So I built the whole movie around all these crazy twists that happen at the end. And
wait, let me guess. The girl is really a boy. And he goes, is that it?
Do a damn rewrite.
Oh, it was done already. Shit. I know. How about it's the mother's actually dead and the boy's doing the killing?
Damn it.
Or how about
it's his sister?
Yes. That would. How about the killer is laying on the floor the entire movie and he gets up?
You just guessed all four of the
He's
twists.
been dead the whole time.
Yeah. Oh man. Back to the rewrite room.
And the killer's in the house.
Yeah, he's in the attic, dude.
But yeah, so I've been spending the spring. We've been prepping it. I've been working with cameras. We're shooting on a Canon 5D. And
What is that? Real film?
No, it's digital.
What are you laughing at? I was wondering why you mentioned the camera. I thought maybe you were saying it was real film.
I've shot on film before, and it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Done well, it's really great, but to light it, and it's so delicate, and you have to like put it in the camera in a dark tent so the light doesn't expose it. It's a pain in the ass. But yeah, so I'm shooting it on 5D, and we start shooting Friday the 13th, and we're shooting for about a month and a half. And it seems like a traditional slasher, and it might seem that way with the descriptions and everything, but I promise you there are kick-ass twists that should hopefully please everybody. And I try and write my movies from filmmaking point of view, but first and foremost, I am a horror fan, so I try and write them. What would I want to fucking see in a horror movie, you know?
Is this going to be better than Alone in the Dark?
Oh, shit. I hope so.
Have you seen this, boy? Now you heard my acting, right? So are you sure you don't want me in this? You heard me do Jesse from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, right?
I did, and I didn't comment on that, but I do want to say, for the record, you guys did some amazing acting.
Jesse, my God, what happened?
I killed him. I killed him.
Jesse, my God, you're hurt. What happened?
I killed Grady. I killed Grady. Lisa, I killed Snyder. Oh, my God. I'm so scared.
Jesse, what are you talking about?
He's inside me. I'm scared.
Jesse, who is doing this to
Fred Krueger. He's inside me, and he wants to take me again.
No. Jesse, this is not happening. It's got to be everything you've taken in. Schneider, the diary, the glove. Only it's all mixed up.
Christ, what do I have to do to make you understand me? Last time he tried to make me kill my sister. I got blood on my hands. He owns me.
Your audition things. That was really great. You both.
Thank you. So here's the big question, the obvious speed bumps and reasons why people don't pursue their dreams.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how you jumped the hurdle. How did you get a budget?
So here's my spiel on the budget. I thought about crowdfunding or Kickstarter or something like that. And with my experience working in international film distribution in Europe, in their market, when we had independent films come to us that were funded by crowdfunder and Kickstarter and stuff like that, the thing with those is everyone that's pitching in, usually the prize or whatever, no matter if you donate $5 or $100.
Right, there's always a prize they get.
You give them, usually the prize is to give them a free copy of the movie. So if these people that want to see your movie
don't pay for it,
and you're automatically giving them a free copy of the movie, then no distribution company is going to want to really pick up a movie that, not in all cases, but in
the core audience is not paying.
Yeah, you're not getting your audience, you're giving away free copies from the get-go. So I knew I didn't want to do that because I definitely do want to try and get some sort of distribution for this film, whether it be one of the companies I've networked with or worked with. One of the companies I worked with, and actually my roommate worked with, was the company that distributed the Grave Encounters movies.
Oh, okay.
So I'm networking with them. I'm trying to get it a legitimate distribution, or at least on Netflix and iTunes, So something I'm trying to.
Dude,
really...
that's the way to go. Yeah, remember we talked to Adam Green? He said the best way, just send a signal. That way there's no cost, and you make 4 or 5 or whatever whatever you're going to charge.
Yeah, and do it online or Netflix. I contacted Netflix and apparently this is the vibe I got. Apparently it's like a $1,200 fee that you send in with the screener of your movie, and they'll screen it, and you don't get that $1,200 back. So either they can pick up your movie, and that was a good $1,200, or they don't pick it up, it's just lost. But then I guess they'll pay $12,000 for 2 years of streaming on there. Or
Some of the movies I've seen that Netflix has picked up, I really don't think you'd have anything to worry about.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but,
Dude, they have Toxic Avenger 3 on there.
obviously, $12,000 is probably a very low base price. I mean, I'm sure they're paying much more for like Mad Men and shit like that. But
Wait, they'll pay you 12 for 2 years?
For 2 years of streaming.
That's how that works?
I guess, yeah. That's from what I understood, and I also contacted the people that do Redbox, you know, those movie events.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're like, if there is one genre that we will do independent films with in our machines, it is horror.
Yeah.
You're going to see an independent comedy, because comedies only sell in their machines if they have like Cameron Diaz or some star.
Exactly.
Same with dramas. So horror is the only genre that can sell independently, even if you don't have big name actors or anything in it. It's the horror fans are there for the story and for the fun of it.
Right.
And, you know, it doesn't matter if it's starring Cameron Diaz or Tom Cruise, you know, people still buy it and watch it.
Are you going to go the route of popping in a famous 80s person like Danielle Harris or Felissa Rose or like any of those types of people?
I thought about it, and I did contact someone, and I don't want to throw them under the bus or anything, for just a small cameo, which would have been 1 day of shooting. Their rate was too much for the budget. So my budget is invested by a couple of private investors, friends, and friends of the family who have put together, and combined, I have a pretty decent budget for it.
Is it like $3,000?
It's a little more than that. It's definitely not much more, but it's a little more than that.
That's good.
So I didn't have room in the budget to fly this person out. They needed to be flown out, obviously, and put up in a hotel. And
well, how about this? Can we guess 5 guesses, and if we're right, you admit it?
All right. Yeah, give me your guesses, because
everybody think hard.
I don't know if you'll guess it, but
Danny Trejo.
No.
Lin Shaye.
No.
Jamie, make it good.
Danielle Harris.
No.
Kane Hodder.
No.
One more. Shit.
Lloyd Kaufman.
Lloyd Kaufman. He does it for free, Jamie.
I know.
She also wanted, it's a she, obviously. She also wanted $2,500 for the day, which was not in my budget.
Jesus. Did you explain what this was?
Yeah, I explained it to her. I tried to explain my background, and, you know, this is my first feature, but I've had success in the festival market with short films and stuff like that, and my past experience in working in Europe and stuff, and she still had a flat rate, and which I get. I mean, if you're someone and, you know, I mean, I get it, but I tried. But I did get someone, hopefully it's someone that for the fight coordination, the pro WWE fighter guy.
Yeah, that's huge.
So why don't you get Trey Songz to do it?
Yeah, he does horror movies.
I'll just put it in 3D, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can give him a shitty death in the movie.
you could have a car accident.
See a film, yeah.
Can you imagine that asshole? He finally, you know, they just use him to sell tickets, and this jerk off probably put it in his clause or something that he doesn't want to get. Like, oh man,
what a waste!
What a jerk. So you got to the part where you explain the beginning. There's cool chicks, they're on drugs and all that stuff, and they're driving around. They get in a car accident. They meet this dude. Now, is there anything else you could tell us without ruining it, or is that it?
That's pretty much it. I know it's basic, and I know it sounds really basic and simple and like a traditional, like The Hitcher type of film, but I promise you there are twists and turns that should hopefully keep everyone on the edge.
Dude, that's all I want to know.
Yeah, really. Now tell me this, like when people rush these movies and it's so important, the shooting schedule has to stick to what it is. Is that because each day you have to pay, like, is there a certain amount that you get charged each day of recording, and that's the reason, I guess?
For my particular circumstance, I think I've been very lucky that all the locations we're using, everyone in this town, we just had Spider-Man 2 come film around here. That was last summer. So everyone's really excited now when movies, I mean, I'm no fucking Spider-Man 2.
should get Electro in there.
Everyone's really excited, and the whole community is really eager when these things seem to come around. So, every once in a while we get big movies that come around. We had a Christmas movie from Universal Pictures that I worked on not too long ago. And
Christmas Story 2?
Yeah. It was called Best Man Holiday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to pay to use these the store that we rob in the opening. They're not making me pay, and these trails. And we have this big, beautiful lake in our town. It's a lake town. So, everyone's really being generous and not making me fork out any cash to just use their locations. And so as far as time is money, I guess it's more so actors' availability and everyone's schedule. And, I do have a slight timeline that I want to keep track. I want to hopefully have it edited by the end of the year and then try and do festival circuits with it and distribution of some sort by early next year. So
now, dude, remember, take Adam Green's advice, man, when he said you don't shoot the first scenes first because no one's comfortable yet, right?
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, he is a filmmaker that I listen to his podcast, and that I definitely take a lot of advice from a filmmaker, because he just goes so in depth. Mm-hmm. And he's so, the interviews you guys have done with him, he's so in depth, and he really gets into the aspects of the business. And when he was talking about the whole FearNet situation and how who owns what, and he seems like a really cool dude, and he knows a lot about the business as well. And so I definitely look up to him as one of my inspirations as well.
Yeah, man, definitely.
We're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither. It's from a man in Cincinnati, Ohio. And here's what he writes. Dear Casey, this may seem to be a strange dedication request, but I'm quite sincere, and it'll mean a lot if you play it. Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's go start again. I'm coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please. See, when you come out of those up-tempo damn numbers, man, it's impossible to make those transitions, and then you got to go into somebody dying. They do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but damn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it. Is Don on the phone? Okay, I want a damn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a up-tempo record every time I do a damn death dedication. Now, make it, and I also want to know what happened to the pictures I was supposed to see this week. This is the last damn time I want somebody to use a brain to not come out of a damn record that's up-tempo, and I got to talk about a dog dying. Hi, this is Casey Kasem. American Top 40 has moved to a new time. I hope you'll join me this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning at 2. Boy, this is f***ing ponderous, man. Ponderous, f***ing ponderous.
You're listening to the Never Ponderous.
Ponderous.
Always cheerful.
Skeleton Crew.
What up, bitches? This is the fucking Ghoul, and you're listening to the fucking Skeleton Crew, son.
Alright guys, now we're talking about The Stuff. 1985, director Larry Cohen. And here's what happens here. A weird yummy goo erupts from the earth and is discovered by a couple of miners. They taste it, believe it or not, and decide to market it because it tastes so good. The American public literally eats up the new dessert sensation now known as The Stuff. But unfortunately, it takes over the brains of those who eat it, turning them into zombie-like creatures. It is up to an ex-FBI agent, David Rutherford, and a kid named Jason to stop the spread of the mind-devouring dessert. This sounds ridiculous, but the cast, the main people are, I think Rutherford, the main guy, is Michael Moriarty. The girl who hangs out with him and helps him is Adriana Markovicki. The chocolate chip Charlie is Garrett Morris. And believe it or not, Paul Sorvino from Goodfellas is in this movie. Believe it or not. and the kid is named Scott Bloom, Jason, and that's about the only people worth mentioning in this. And it gets a 5.9 on IMDb. So, now Willis, you've heard this movie before?
Yeah, this was one of them HBO specials that they used to show like every day.
Yeah?
Yep, when I was younger, they used to run this joint to death on HBO back in the day.
Everybody says they love 80s horror, but I've never heard anyone mention this in my entire life.
It's one of the movies that people remember what happened, but sometimes don't remember the title of the movie. They just remember certain things that happened in the movie because they played it like every other day.
I love this movie. I have a really good time watching this movie. I think Moriarty does I love his character. I think he does a bang up job. And this movie, because part of it takes place in Atlanta and is in other parts of Georgia too, but I used to have this rule when I was a kid to keep me from getting scared at movies, where I would say, I don't know if I've told you this before, but this was my rule. It was like, this happened, like I say, if I was watching Night of the Living Dead, it was like, okay, this happened in Pittsburgh, so it's not going to happen to me. Or this happened in 1968, so it's not going to happen to me. Or this happened, whatever. I would always have a qualifying thing that would keep me from staying awake at night. Well, then the stuff came along and fucked that all up for me because it was right in my backyard. So I always appreciated that. Plus, I think Garrett Morris was a lot of fun as Chocolate Chip Charlie. This is just one of those movies that is, I don't know, I consider it a classic. I mean, you've got these great commercials. It really delves into commercialization and marketing and how much people really will do whatever you tell them to do.
Right. It's kind of like... It's sort of like, not really, but sort of like that Roddy Piper movie.
They Live.
They Live.
Yeah, it has some similar themes.
Right. Now, Dan, have you ever seen this before?
No.
Okay, so what was your overall consensus here?
I hated it.
What?
Yeah.
How can you hate this stuff?
It was just a waste of time, dude. I don't know. I think it was trying to be funny, and it wasn't funny, and I hated that dude. I didn't like the main character. I just thought it was fucking stupid. I mean, I'm just being honest, but I found nothing good in this movie. I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, I can't believe I'm wasting fucking 90 minutes of my life watching this piece of shit. I get what they were going for, but it just did nothing for me, dude. Waste of time.
I have to lean towards that. I was sitting there and I was like, this is sort of a waste of time. Like, it's not like the worst movie in the world.
No, it's not. But it's also, like, nothing good in it either, in my opinion. Jamie, I know why you said that, too. Like, I feel you. And I said that to myself, too. I'm like, watch, Jamie's gonna like this shit because this shit's in her own backyard. And that's literally what you just said.
You didn't enjoy, like, the commercials that they made and how everything was just all... Like, you go into the supermarket and it's everywhere. It's just, I think it really had a statement. I think it had something to say.
You smirk at it.
I didn't outright laugh.
Right.
No, I mean, it wasn't like, holy shit, this is funny as hell. No, not like that. I think it's more of it's a dark comedy. It's more of like...
It's a commentary.
Making fun of, exactly. It's a commentary making fun of us as consumers.
Yeah. No, I got that. I totally got it. I just, I don't know.
Didn't enjoy it.
Hey, if I wanted to watch something from Georgia or something, I'd watch fucking Secret Shopper.
And then when you're done blinking, you'll watch something else.
Why?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like my sex life. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think this is a good movie, and I'll never watch it again. But at the same time, it was solid in a way. It kept my interest. Honestly, I had to keep pausing it and do other things, like deliberately though. Like I just needed a break every.
At least you paused it and didn't just let it run.
No, I paused it because I didn't want to watch anymore, but at the same time, I knew I had to, so I just kept pausing it and went to and gave my brain a break, and then came back to it. You know.
I totally agree. I had the same exact experience. I was like, okay, I gotta make it through this movie. We're doing it for the show. That's the only reason I would ever watch it. Like, even if I was flipping through on, like, you know, and I saw it on fucking Cinemax or something, dude, I wouldn't give this fucking movie the time of day, dude.
Yeah, it's a totally interesting premise. I really do think it is. I think that's awesome. Like,
do people really consider it a classic though? Or I mean, I know somebody said that, but I don't know.
I said that because I do, but and there are others of me out there who love it as much as I do. But I mean, it's not, you know, it's not going to be listed anywhere. I don't think, you know.
I'm just making sure. I thought I was being a dick or I was crazy or something, but I just thought it sucked.
Let's get into it a little bit, I guess. So there's this liquid marshmallow shit bubbling out of a random area in the ground, in the snow or something, and this guy just thinks it's a great idea to eat this.
Always.
How, in any world, does that seem like a normal thing to do? Something's bubbling out of the ground and you're eating it.
Never. It's a movie thing. That's what, and
totally.
that automatically, dude. Right as the movie starts off like that, I'm like, this is fun. Like, what's going on here?
That's where it's going. Yeah.
When they force situations like that, dude, and like, you know, oh, just go with it, and then, you know, the whole premise of it too, with like, I don't know if this guy, what was he, like a lawyer or something? Not the guy who found it in the beginning, but
the FBI guy.
No, the guy, yeah, with the accent, dude. First of all, was that a fake accent?
I think so.
Because that was horrid. That was horrible, dude. That was like, and can I be honest with you too?
I think Moriarty actually talks like that.
Yeah? Jesus.
Really?
I'm sure he does. Yeah.
You don't talk like that, Jamie.
Well, no, I don't, but I think he does.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. It was so fucking forced. I was like, wow, this is Hollywood trying to do a Georgian accent, or wherever the fuck he was supposed to be from. But
Willis, would you agree that every scene moved it along, but none really paid off great?
Some of it was kind of corny.
Some of it? I was going to say some of it wasn't.
I like when the stuff actually started eating people up until it started creeping on things. Then you can see the difference in where the people were standing at and how they had the effects looking like it was taking over, even though the people wasn't even in the room when they was doing that part. So you could tell that big time. So that kind of ruin certain things, but that's what happens in 80s movies back in the day with a low budget.
Right.
Well, like, what do you think was, like, if you were to explain this movie to somebody and, like, you know, the flagship, whatever the fuck they call it, like, if there was one main thing to sell this movie, like, what would it be for you?
Well, I think it would, honestly, for me, it would be the message. But as far as, like, visuals, I love the scene where Garrett Morris gets it, where Chocolate Chip Charlie suddenly basically turns
that was
wrong
good.
Side out. I thought that was badass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I agree. That was cool. That's funny. It was funny shit. And also, I'll say this. I didn't expect that. I know I should by now, but I figured he seemed to be talking normal, and he was saying, shit, yeah, I could tell you on the radio what the fuck just happened, and I could tell you what they look like on the way out, and all that. So I totally believed that he was a regular guy, not brainwashed. And then all of a sudden, his neck starts bulging, and that was awesome, you know?
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, you know, which, you know, I think it's still effective.
Yeah, it was awesome, that part. You know, not everything is going to be bad. And, like, there are some bad parts, not even just effects, but directing and effects. For example, when the dog is attacking the guy, like, they were trying hard as fuck to get that dog to be in the positions that they wanted him. Like, they probably had, like, a steak in the guy's mouth to get that dog over there. It was just really weird and forced. That was pretty funny.
Please let me know, like, am I missing something? Am I high? What's going on?
I think you're definitely high.
Well, yeah, that's true.
No, I don't think you're wrong, because it had a good point to the movie.
Right.
But you can have all the good points in the movie, but if you watch a movie 30 years old and it doesn't hold up visually, that kind of takes you out of the movie.
Yeah, but it gives it a charm, don't you think? Like, I don't care that things didn't look that good. I just wasn't really expecting it. I thought it'd be more funny because I knew the movie wasn't going to grab me on an intellectual level. It did grab me. I agree completely with Jamie on the point that it really did grab me message-wise, and I was really interested in the idea that everyone is becoming possessed and nobody knows what's going on. And here's the thing that's really interesting about the movie that really made it work to people who like it. It's like people are getting possessed by this, and it's an epidemic, and things are going wrong, and it shouldn't be sold. But the problem for the world is that no one who is being affected negatively is going to talk about it.
Just like this movie.
But it's like, you know, it's hurting people, but the people getting hurt aren't going to complain because they're getting taken over by what's hurting them, and that thing that's hurting them wants them to, and the people getting affected because they're getting taken over aren't going to say shit. So this will and can just completely spread throughout the world, and we'll all become those things. The only thing I think, Jamie, can you fill me in now? What did I miss? Like, what was the point of this? These things were going to inhabit your body and then pop it like plastic when they're done with you. And then what? What is their
goal?
Objective,
Right.
You know, honestly, I can't remember. It has.
Well, it's just to like reproduce, right?
I mean, I think it's basically it's all about resources. You know,
but they're all sludge after they do that, though, just like they were before.
Well, I mean, the being itself is sludge. I mean, just because it's not a walking, talking thing doesn't mean it's not sentient. You know, so the idea was that this was stuff from space, but it does have a plan, and it's smarter than we are, you know, on many levels.
But what was the difference after it hopped out of your body compared to before it went in?
None. I mean, it just sort of it was basically you're a breeding ground for more of it, so it can continue to.
So when you ate it, more developed in your body.
I mean, well, you saw how big it got. Like you eat a little carton of it. You eat cartons and cartons of it, but then when it comes out of you, it's, you know, it grows and expands. Like, you know, with the chocolate chip Charlie, when it was a huge, big, giant thing of it, and that's just, it's like any parasite, you know, any organism. The goal is to survive and to strive, and that's what it was doing.
I feel like Ivan Ooze did it better in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was the same thing, Willis. You know what I'm talking about, right? Same thing, okay? This ooze, and as soon as somebody touched it, it was like the Nickelodeon Gak or whatever the fuck. Remember that shit?
When they poured it on the people.
Yeah. With Summer's hand off. Oh, I reeled the shit out of her. But I just felt like if you're gonna make a movie and set something up, dude, go somewhere with it. You know, raise the stakes, make it so, you know, even the antagonist has something to lose.
Well, it does have something to lose. If we win, then it can no longer survive. It's all about survival. It's attempting to survive and to take over. That is the point. That is the end game. We will all be dead.
Oh, okay.
And it
will
run our planet.
I guess that means that Dan don't care if it lives. You know, like it didn't invest him to care if it survived. Like even
it's exactly like the Blob.
Is this better than the Blob or no?
No. What exactly is the end game of the Blob? Just to be the Blob. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't think the Blob's that good either.
Yeah, well, all right, man. I ain't got nothing.
I hate this guy. That's a fake accent. What the fuck's going on with this stuff? Like, nothing's really, I don't know. It just felt like I couldn't invest anything in anything.
I thought that guy was cool. I believe it or not, I liked him in the opening scene when he had the microphone in the guy's shirt and he punched the other guy out. I actually thought he was a cool character, and I got into him and I was like, well, here's the thing. I was surprised that we're going to be following this guy because I was under the impression that this whole thing was going to be from the point of view of the kid.
There you go.
You know,
right.
And that really failed because 35 minutes into the movie, it's not about this kid really at all. And then he does come in, then he hides in a truck, and then he's just
that was dumb. right, that's like right up there with that damn brat hiding in the toolbox on the truck that's about to blow in Long Kiss Goodnight. It's like kids find the stupidest fucking places to hide. You know, I don't even understand that. Let me hide in a tanker where they're gonna put a whole bunch of this shit.
The only payoff was watching it fill up with the stuff and thinking that something cool might happen, but it didn't. Like, nothing cool did happen. So that was kind of weird. But the thing I couldn't believe is that as this movie was wrapping up, I couldn't believe that this movie paid for all those explosions. Like, when they're blowing all that shit up, I was like, I didn't expect this movie to have any budget. Like,
thank you.
It must have cost something to blow that shit up.
That's what I'm saying, Alex, though. There's nothing at stake, dude. It's almost like, explosions, because we're making a movie, and movies have stuff happening in it, and explosions are things, and people will watch it, and it's gonna be awesome.
I got a question. If they had a face to the stuff, and the stuff had an explanation of why it was doing what it was doing, would that have worked a little bit better for you?
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought it was going to have a face. There was one point where there was a bunch of them in like a lake of it, and they seemed to be forming a shape. There was like 2 of them, and I thought that they would, I thought we would see either what comes of it or something, or it seemed like they were taking on some shape. And I thought that would be cool, and then we'll see, like, you know, this is what... I don't know. I really didn't know what was going to come. I just thought they would eventually let me know. But, I don't know. I guess if it was faceless, but the blob, you know, the blob is a great argument. We have to wonder how come that works, I guess, for people, and this works, you know, like Jamie said it works, and
it is a Larry Cohen film, so you ain't gonna expect so much.
What else has he done, guys?
A bunch of B movies. That's
Alive,
about it.
Which is another one of my favorites. I really enjoy Larry Cohen. I think I don't know. I like what he does. But what about the end scene where you have Moriarty showing up with these rich guys, and now they have abandoned the stuff that is ruined. They can no longer use the stuff. So then they create a new product, and they only put just enough of the stuff in it so that it will make people want it, but according to them, it's not enough to take it over. Well, then the final scene we have with them is him sitting them down and forcing them to eat what they have been forcing on American consumers all this time. Do you not see the darkness of that, or the profundity of that?
What's that mean? What's profound?
I do. How profound it is. I do. I thought it was cool, but the thing is, Jamie, something about that scene didn't pop. Like, it wasn't like, damn. Like, it just wasn't. It didn't impact me for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't in the right state of mind.
I think it's supposed to be just sort of a resignation. I don't think it's supposed to be like, holy shit, you know. I think it's just supposed to be like, it's going to sink in, you know, and you're going to be like, that's...
I feel like if Steven Seagal did that to somebody, it would have been like, damn, bitch.
Steven Seagal's eating the stuff. Everybody, he's eating the stuff, y'all. Look at him. He's doing his flappy arm waves while he's making people eat the stuff. Yeah, he's like, I'm taking you to the bank. I'm taking you to the stuff bank.
The stuff bank.
Don't make fun of Hard to Kill. That's amazing. All right, well, you got that as an ender, and then the very, very ending was bizarre. Well, not bizarre. It was anticlimactic. Like, this guy just unloads a truck, and there's more stuff.
You know what this
it's amazing
is for real? At the time, this movie is a metaphor for crack more than anything else.
Yo, you're right, dude. Holy shit, I didn't think about that. 85, cuz? You're right.
Yeah, but crack doesn't kill you.
Yes.
You know, we talked about everything. Usually explosions are awesome at the end of a movie. In this one, it was just some guy videotaping explosions.
It was explosions for the sake of explosions, because we're making a movie, guys.
I think it was directed poorly. I think is what's wrong, right, Jamie? Do you agree that those explosions at the end, they just didn't impact? Like, was it as impactful as Return of the Living Dead explosions at the end?
No, I agree with that. I'm not saying this movie was hitting on all cylinders, because it wasn't. You know, it has a lot of misses, but for me, it just has more hits than misses. But yeah, I agree about the explosions, of course.
It was weird.
And Jamie, I'm not trying to pigeonhole you into like, oh, you know, you're the number one fan of this movie. I'm just curious because I didn't connect with it.
No, but I'm close.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Get out of here. You're not close.
Well, then there you go. So that's why I'm picking your brain. But no, we're not implying that you love this movie at all. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm just, you know what it is more than anything, dude? I get really curious. Like, did I miss something? And it doesn't sound like I did, which is, you know, I'm happy for you that you liked it, and I'm happy for anybody that likes these movies. But it just ain't my cup of tea. I could say that.
Personally, I think you did miss something. If you don't see the overall goal of this film, if you feel like it was missing a goal, then I think you did miss something.
Did I say that? Do you think I missed the goal? Because I totally.
You said.
Yeah.
You said you didn't see an end game. There was no, I forget the words that you used, but I mean, basically it was that you got nothing from it, you know? So if you got nothing from it, then I think you missed it.
Yeah. No, I saw it. I just found it wasn't worthy of making a movie around, and it wasn't, like I said, if we all put our fucking noggins together, we could come up with a better script than this, but that's just me.
Well, this is the script we got, so how do we rate this movie? Willis, out of Netflix ratings and the reasons you number them that way, how do you rate this movie?
I rate this movie a 2 stars.
So you didn't like it. Okay. Jamie, what do you rate this?
4.5.
Jamie, get the fuck out of here.
Are you kidding? Have you never seen, I mean, I've had pictures from this film as my cover photo. I have posted this video, the commercial from this film all the time on my Facebook page. I fucking love this movie.
Really?
Yes, I do. And I post about it on Facebook whenever I watch it, which is not all that infrequent. I've watched it, counting now, 3 times this year.
What? I never heard this before.
No. I've always seen the cover on Netflix, and, you know, I've seen, you know, but I've never heard anybody talk about it and hold it in a high regard on any level. You know, if anything, if you say I missed something and I know what you're talking about, you know, the whole message of it or whatever, I get it, but I don't think I would even give it the time of day to watch it again to reinforce that. Like, I trust you, baby.
Well, I think the movie's going to be just okay without you having to give it more of your time.
Well, Dan clearly gives it a 1 out of 5. If not 0. I give it a 2.5, so that means it's between not like it and like it, because I appreciate the overall effort, and it was a time. I can't say it was a great time or anything.
It was a time. What the fuck is that shit, dude? It was a time. Like that's like taking a girl out and being like, it was a night. It was a date.
Yeah, like I remember almost every scene, so that must mean something. I did kind of dig the main guy, the FBI guy. He's cool.
I hated it.
Yeah, I don't know. He had a charm to him, I guess. Yeah. The kid, I could care less. The overall story, I thought it was really cool. Like I said, I think it's awesome that the world is consuming something and nobody can do anything about it, because if you're affected, you're already taken over, and you can't say shit, and you're not gonna say shit. So it could just keep getting worse and worse and worse, and that's amazing. And to think that these 3 people can stop an epidemic like this is ridiculous. They could never have done anything about this if this was real.
If I want to watch a movie like this about consumerism and you know whatever, I just watch the fucking the Dawn of the Dead remake, dude. I mean, I'm being serious.
The remake?
No.
Why would you watch the remake?
I'm just saying. I prefer the remake, Jamie. We've never talked about this, but I prefer the remake to the original. Hate.
No, I don't have a problem with the remake, but it has shit to say about consumerism. If you want a message about consumerism, you watch the original. That's
Jamie,
where the message is.
They're stuck in a mall.
So? It's a fucking setting. It means nothing. It means nothing in that film. They have that film completely.
You don't get nothing like it.
That film completely stripped away everything Romero had to say with his original film.
Oh, he didn't have much to say, anyways.
Oh my God! Hang up now. We gotta stop.
All right. Well, I just wonder what these poor actors had to eat during the entire filming of this stuff. That's what I was wondering. What the fuck were they eating?
Marshmallow fluff.
That's what I thought.
I have no idea, but that would be my guess.
That's my guess.
Or yogurt. I don't know. Because sometimes it looked a little runnier than other. Like sometimes it looked fluffier. Sometimes it looked a little more runny. So I don't know. Maybe they had their choice.
What are we talking about again?
All right, well, that's the stuff. You heard our ratings. It is on Netflix. If you like what you heard, go check it out. If you take Dan's word for everything and my word for everything, then you could, in my case, you could watch it, I guess. If you have nothing to do, then watch it.
This is Mr. Skin from MrSkin.com with all the skinfo from the latest movies. Not nude in theaters. Keira Knightley co-stars in Begin Again. If you need to see Keira naked again, head back to 2005's Domino, where she gets repeatedly topless as a hot bounty hunter. Keira nude in Domino will have you setting it up and knocking it down.
This is the Mr. Skin Minute.
Nude on Blu-ray. It's the first season of Showtime's Masters of Sex. The Skintastic series has Lizzie Kaplan as hands-on sex researcher Virginia Johnson, plus a rotating lineup of newcomers stripping down in every episode. Masters of Sex will make you the master of baits.
Ooh.
Nude on HBO, Anna Paquin and Carolina Vidra got naked in what promises to be a skintastic last season of True Blood. This show's gone on so long and given us so much nudity that we're running out of vampire jokes. So why don't you pick up your steak and hammer and pound one out yourself?
MrSkin.com. Fast forwarding to the good parts.
Do you have anything else in the works? Now, I know you're doing this now, but do you have, like, you know, a couple ideas floating around of what you can do next, or is it just this movie? Because I'm not saying it's not enough. I mean...
Yeah, really, Dan, what the fuck?
Well, I know that Volume 2 of Nuke Um High is starting to ramp up the finishing of editing, I think, or something like that. I don't really know. But that should be out sometime shortly. I think Volume 1 just came out in March, so all the other... I've worked on a bunch of indie projects here and there, and I haven't heard much word of them, but from my own point of view, from what I'm filming, I've been pouring all my heart and soul and all my attention into Sting to make it the best as I can make it. And then I have other ideas floating around, but I'm definitely at the moment focusing on Sting. And then hopefully I would like to finish my college degree someday here, but we'll see.
There's plenty of time for that.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even mow my lawn today. It's like the only thing I had to do. Yeah, I couldn't even do that.
Now, is this going to be better than Camp Dread?
I didn't even check out Camp Dread.
You're better off. You're better off. That was more... Camp Dread is more like a comedy. Than anything.
Did you guys catch Godzilla?
Dude,
Everybody said it sucked.
I heard Godzilla wasn't even in it.
What I heard was that the end was really good. Like the end fight scenes were really good, but that there could stand to be more Godzilla in the Godzilla movie, and so I stayed.
I don't want to give anything away, but I see where they're coming from. It was an enjoyable, like, big summer movie. I was pretty entertained by it, but yeah, Godzilla was not in it as much as it should be for being Godzilla. Just say that.
That's great.
With the fucking title Godzilla, you would have thought.
Yeah, he might be in it.
But yeah, you would have thought.
Yeah, he couldn't be bothered.
See, I heard that and I said, I'm going to have to skip this one. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to. And then I saw X-Men Days of Future Past and I'm going to see it for the third time today.
Yeah, sure you are.
But I saw Godzilla. I really love Elizabeth Olsen, who was in Silent House as well.
She's great, dude.
She's awesome, and she's smoking hot, too.
Oh, she really is, dude. Absolutely. She's going to be in the new Avengers movie.
Avengers, yeah, she's blowing up, so...
Hey, Alex, are you the one who asked about where our 90s horror talk episode was? Was that you?
I probably did. Yeah, that was probably
Oh, and I, like, dug it out for you? Yeah.
Yeah, and then I probably listened to it 20 fucking times. You just re-listened to your Texas Chainsaw retro.
Yay!
And my views on Texas Chainsaw 3D are like borderline fence right now. When I initially saw it, I wasn't too happy with it, but
I changed your mind.
On me a little bit. Yes, this changed.
I don't know. I think I was accurate, and I watched it again, almost again, this past weekend, and I liked it a little less, man. I don't know.
And I have to defend that movie on 4 different podcasts.
I so badly want to love it, just because it's a direct sequel to one of my favorite films. But there's just something about it that it's odd.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm kind of torn about it too. I thought it was great, but there's something about it where it's like, I don't know about this. I mean, if you're gonna have Trey Songz, fucking kill him.
Let's just do with that. Yeah, right? Kill this guy. And it should have been like an extra. When you get somebody on a movie like that, not that I think he's special, but, obviously somebody listens to his music and they got him on just for the gimmick of it. So if you're going to do that, give him like the best death in the movie or something, like.
My name's Trey Songz with a Z.
Yeah, really. Well, dude, thanks so much for hopping on here and talking about your stuff, and seeing as you're so into horror and actively in this business, that means a lot that you take the time to listen to our show. That it must be a good standard to you, to waste your time with it.
I thank you guys, seriously. Thank you for having me on, and I'm really was stoked to come on and had a great time talking with you guys. And I know I've said this before on the page, but it's for a podcast, it's not necessarily normal for this whole community to be based around a podcast, and that says a lot about what you guys have done with your podcast. And there's this whole community now with people that I talk to on and communicate on that page, and I go to the page to geek out on horror, and everyone loves horror, and it really says something about the base product and the quality of it and the people in it and your opinions, that from a simple podcast you can build an entire community off of it, and that really says a lot about the work you guys have put into it. And I look forward to seeing what you guys do with the rest of your shows here before you end, and I'm sure it will be awesome and kick-ass.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man. Alex, we don't have to ban this kid. What are you talking about?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Dude, that's the most important thing, I think. It's all of us. Like I said, everyone is the crew, And the thing that I get the biggest kick out of, man, is when I'll go on someone's page, like their personal page, and I'll see they have like 19 mutual friends, and they're all people just from the page. And that's,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that is like the best.
You guys
that's the
truly
best.
Building a community, and it's awesome. It's kick-ass.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. That means so much to all of us.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like Alex said too, it's not our opinions too, man. It's yours. I mean, I know you're a very active member on there, and dude, thank God for people like you that because we make fun of all those other groups for one way or the other, but mostly for being just ignorant about shit. And you're very smart. You're very on point, and you definitely know what you're doing, bro. So best wishes in the future with all your film shit. And if you ever want the Skeleton Crew, do a little cameo in your next flick, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. There actually might be. You'll be surprised.
Uh-oh. Are we going to be playing on a radio in a car?
Radio on a car.
That would be awesome. That would be as cool as... I used to always love it when movies would put like a copy of Fangoria in their movie, That always cracked me up.
If you send me a bumper sticker, that will be in the film, no doubt.
Oh my God. That will happen.
I got a couple of bumper stickers laying around, so we might have to arrange that.
Yeah, we'll be honored,
For sure.
Thanks, man. And if you ever want to, obviously this will take a long time for you, so if you want to come back in a couple months, oh, damn, we'll be gone. Oh, shit.
End of the summer, I could give you an update.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
I was going to say, hop back on, man, before it's all over. And
I would love to.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for coming on, and it was great.
Yay, it was fun.
Peace out.
So
See you
nice.
later, guys.